And we are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man DL Saint. How y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Easter Sunday for those of y'all who are in the faith. Hope you guys are doing well. I know I'm hanging in there doing what I do. It's a Sunday. I told y'all from now on, every day, I'm going live every day, bro. Been sitting here thinking about how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to change my banner and put up some times, but we're gonna go hard for a while, y'all. So I'm gonna go live every day at 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sundays uh we're gonna go at 2 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. And I'm also gonna be putting up DL shorts and all kind of stuff. We're about to just get crazy with it, y'all. We're about to just go hard. Um, so I know I rarely do Sunday shows, so I'm not expecting a lot of people to catch it, you know what I mean, or catch me on this particular. Because we're sitting here, we're still waiting for uh the word to get out. I just started this, so probably don't have anybody watching just yet. And it is Sunday, but people are going to catch up, and you guys that catch this in team replay definitely want to see your comments on what we're going to talk about today, because we're going to talk about Budweiser. We're going to talk about this whole Bud Light thing and the LGBTQ stuff. We're going to talk about that today. I know I was scheduled to do a talk about the spirit of Delilah. I pushed that till next Sunday. There's some more research I wanted to do. I wanted to get some more stuff prepped before I do that show. So we'll do that next Sunday. And then tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have a show set up for you guys. I think I'm going to do women voting and the draft. I think we're going to cover that. That'll be a downrange one as well. And then yeah, don't worry. We'll have downrange stuff. We'll have I really want to know stuff, and we're just gonna keep it pushing. Um, I just want to check my sound effects. I'm gonna hit this sound real quick, just to make sure we're good, and we are, because that's how I check to make sure everything's going good, man. I pull up the stream, the live feed, make sure everything's good. It looks like it's decent. So let's get into this, y'all. This, we probably won't be a real long show. It might be. We'll see. Hopefully, um, we'll get some folks who maybe want to jump on and contribute and talk. I'll definitely drop the link just to see if anyone wants to jump on and give their opinion. But let's talk about this right here. You guys know about the controversy that's going on right now. Um, we're gonna read what happened exactly, but you know, Budweiser made a a decision to court the LGBTQ community to show their support, their solidarity. And we're gonna read about exactly what happened, but there's some backlash out there. There's a lot of people not drinking Budweiser, a lot of conservative types who are loudly protesting or pushing back, and there's some people out there who are quietly pushing back. I'm telling you, when I'm in the bars, some of these bars, and y'all know I'm in Central Florida, some of these bars, bro, no one's ordering Budweiser. You know what I mean? Some people aren't, ordering Coronas like Budweiser has a lot of beers under their banner. No one's ordering Bud Light. No one's ordering Budweiser. I still see people getting Corona. A lot of folks don't know that Budweiser owns these different brands, but yeah, Budweiser and Bud Light, those two beers are not being sold in some bars out here. So, and again, I'm in Florida. When I was in LA, it was like a different world. I'm curious as to what's going on in LA with the sale of these beers. Maybe people are going out buying more as a show of support. I don't know. But we're going to figure out exactly what's going on. So let's get into it right here. This is Associated Press, and this came out April 6th, 3 days ago. Bud Light maker didn't fire marketing team over LGBTQ ads. So there was a rumor out there that Budweiser fired the marketing team that was behind this ad, and Associated Press came out to talk about that. The claim is the brewing company Anheuser-Busch fired its entire marketing department in response to its partnership with a transgender influencer and the rollout of LGBTQ pride themed Bud cans or Bud Light cans that feature various pronouns. All right, that's the claim. So that's what, AP's assessment is that it's false. The claim about the marketing department initially spread as satire, but some of social media's users shared it as real. Anheuser-Busch has not fired its marketing team, the company confirmed in its statements. Further, the cans were part of a limited rollout marking Pride Month in 2022 in Canada and aren't connected to the brand's partnership with social media star Dylan Mulvaney. I guess Dylan Mulvaney is a male who is currently transitioning to female or has transitioned to female. I'm not quite sure. I don't really follow this world, but it's a young person. And I'm trying to be nice. I mean, it's Sunday, and I'm trying to be nice. We're going to get into my views on all this here in a second, but I'm trying to be nice. Um, this young guy did I think it was a YouTube ad, and it talked about this was doing March Madness, and he was dressed as a female with makeup on and stuff like that, and it didn't go over well. It did not go over well. So once that happened, and there was that's what this article is addressing, rumors and other stories that YouTubers were putting out there about Budweiser. So in their their decision to do this marketing campaign. So the facts: the popular beer brand's partnership with the influencer in recent days sparked a wave of transphobic commentary among conservative social media personalities who attacked the company for supposedly turning to woke advertising. All right. Mulvaney, who is known for her popular series on TikTok documenting her gender transition, first posted a sponsorship Instagram reel on Saturday, coinciding with the final days of the NCAA March Madness tournament. In the video, Mulvaney cracks open a regular can of Bud Light, chats about March Madness, promotes a Bud Light contest, and says the brand has also sent her a special can with her face on it to celebrate the year anniversary of documenting her transition. All right. So country musician Kid Rock soon chimed in, posting a video of him wearing a MAGA hat while shooting a rifle at packs of Bud Light. He and at least one other country musician claimed to be boycotting the brand over the post. Amid the backlash, a satirical website published a post claiming that Anheuser-Busch, the maker of Bud Light, have fired its entire marketing team responsible for the moves. Some social media users shared the information as if it were genuine, posting screenshots of the headline. Anheuser-Busch confirmed in a statement to the Associated Press on Thursday that it had not fired its marketing team in response to the Mulvaney sponsorship. Sorry about that, y'all. There's no truth to the statement that the company said. It also emphasizing that the one-off can is sent to Mulvaney with her face on it is not available for wider release. Anheuser-Busch works with hundreds of influencers across our brands as one of many ways to authentically connect with audiences across various demographics. The brand said, from time to time, we produce unique commemorative cans for fans and for brand influencers like Dylan Mulvaney. This commemorative can was a gift to celebrate a personal milestone and is not for sale to the general public. Okay, so the transphobic rhetoric online was compounded by others sharing images of a year-old Canadian Bud Light campaign to claim the company was also pivoting to pride-themed cans embracing with rainbows and pronouns. In addition to having Dylan Mulvaney as a new brand ambassador for Bud Light, the brand has also released special non-binary beers to celebrate everyone's identity, featuring pronouns including they, them, and XE, XER, XXer. All right. One user wrote on Sunday, neglecting to mention that the cans were part of an old limited campaign in one country. Those cans are not related to Mulvaney, nor are they recent or available everywhere. A May 2022 press release by Bud Light Bud Light Canada promoting Pride Month incentives that year explains it would be releasing limited edition pronoun inspired Pride cans, as well as providing a total of $100,000 to various organizations supporting Canadian LGBTQ groups. In 2022, Pride Month page on Canadian version of his website further says, for over 20 years, Bud Light has been proud Pride partner. And this year, we're celebrating the unique gender identities of many Canadians through our can design. All right. So, in this whole article right here is something that the Associated Press does to go out there and try to find, real news versus fake news and stuff like that. All right. So, there you have it. So, people are upset because this beer company is aggressively supporting and or courting the LGBTQ community. All right. And there's a lot of talk out there about wokeness in America. And yeah, you do see it. You do see it. There's a lot out there when it comes to wokeness these days. I think when it comes to smoke and mirrors, and I'm always talking about smoke and mirrors on this platform, when it comes to smoke and mirrors, I think that this is one of the premier smoke and mirror tactics are out there. This whole LGBTQ thing. Like, there are issues. People are feeling the way that they feel, but America, in my opinion, is lost in this argument. And the way I see it, there are a couple things here. There are people out there who are like me. I don't care what you do, what you identify. You ain't hurting anybody. You living within the rules. You working, you playing the game as it's supposed to be played. Do you? I don't care. That's on you. You want to dress up as a girl or a boy? You want to dress up? I don't care. My problem is when we are trying to indoctrinate. We are pushing this on our children. That's where I draw the line. It is confusing enough being a teenager, being a kid, going to school, learning the game, getting into this world and trying to figure it out. That's confusing enough. But to go ahead and do this sort of thing, like we're going to push this, I guess we can call it a lifestyle. I'm not saying it's a choice, but this narrative is going to get pushed to the youngest, the most impressionable among us, our kids. Right. So even with me, and I've told this story before for those, who've been around with me, rocking with me for a little bit over a year that I've been doing this, I'm a single dad. Right. So my daughter was like 12 or 13 years old. This wasn't long ago. My daughter and I had a conversation that lasted almost 2 hours. We were talking about gender. She was legit confused, legitimately confused, to the point that she would not acknowledge the fact that she is a girl. Now, everybody gets into their pronouns and how they want to be addressed and all that. We're gonna put that off here on the side for a hot second, right? Let's deal with what it really is. I spent 2 hours explaining to my daughter that she is a female human. That 2 hours, legit conversation, like going in. She had a lot of talking points. My daughter, a lot of talking points swirling around. She was able to engage in this debate. She was 12 or 13 years old and was able to argue her point for 2 hours. Now, she had no answer for the facts, for science. It did not compute with her. You can kind of see the smoke coming out of her ears when we got to that point in the conversation. You were born with girl parts. I was born with boy parts. There's no change in that. That's how you were born. That's it right there. And then, but what about this? What about that? And she refused in this 2-hour conversation to acknowledge that she is a female human. She instead said, well, I want to be a piece of cheese. Papa, I identify as a piece of cheese. And I said, fine, you can be a piece of cheese, but you are a piece of girl cheese. And that's how we ended the conversation. She started laughing. We ended the conversation there. But here's where I really get upset about this whole thing. How is it that my 12 or 13-year-old can debate with me for 2 hours on gender, but she can't name 3 American cities? She can't name 3 American states and she can't name 3 countries on planet Earth. She can't do it. She can now because we work on it just about every day. Where is she getting these talking points about gender? How is it that she's able, this 12-year-old is able to engage a 52-year-old in this debate about gender, but they don't know what state they're in? They can't tell me how many states are in there to make up the United States of America. She can't find the continent of Africa on a map. That was the case back then. It's not the case now. This is my problem with the smoke and mirrors behind this gender thing. I don't have a problem with people who are, lesbian, bisexual. I'm sorry, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans. That was LBGTQ, I guess, queer, plus, whatever that means. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you living your life. I don't. You can hold hands with or sleep with or do whatever with whoever you want to do it with. So long as, it's consensual, right? So long as you ain't breaking no rules, do you? But we need to understand that knowledge is knowledge. Things work the way they work. And that's my problem. We are teaching these kids, we're confusing kids in school, but we're not teaching them anything. That's my problem. As far as Budweiser goes, we got another article we're going to read that talks about this. Budweiser is trying to make money. All the companies out there, they're trying to make money. I ain't mad at them. When you look at corporate America, they're looking at how can we increase the bottom line? How can we get into this market or that market? I mean, that's just what it is. Maybe there's some people within that organization who are part of that community, the LGBTQ community or whatever, and maybe they're like really pushing their narrative from within Budweiser. Great, they worked themselves up to a position where they can bring these issues to the table, and they're in a position where they can decide on where the money goes. I'm talking about advertising dollars, and we can see, hey, this is how we can increase, our sales over here in this community. All right, cool, whatever. But they got to convince a lot of people. It's not just one person making that decision. So they decided to do this thing, and there's backlash. Now, I'm pretty sure they were expecting it, but I don't think that they expected this much pushback from people. I don't think they expected that. Now you got folks who's like, you're trying to increase your market share in a fringe community, and you're losing the backbone of your base. I don't think that they really believe that YouTube had the kind of pull that it does. I honestly believe that whoever signed off on this marketing deal, this marketing campaign or whatever, they were probably thinking like, man, it's just YouTube. What's the worst that could happen? And then they wake up to this. And I mean, it's not gonna, Budweiser isn't gonna go out of business. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. It'll pass like all other stuff, man. It's just smoke and mirrors. It'll pass, right? Because people are sitting around here talking about this, and no one's talking about what's going on with commercial real estate. I'm gonna talk about that later on today. Be looking for it. I'm gonna do a deal short on that. People are talking about this, but not really concerned about what's going on with Clarence Thomas, right? Supreme Court justice who, looks like he's been bought out by his 1% friends, right? And we're not talking about that, right? We're talking about this. So it's one of those things, man. Brother Doug's in the house. What's good, fam? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in on a Sunday, bro. I know, like I said, man, I'm going every day now, every single day. Monday through Friday, I'll be on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. And on Saturdays and Sundays, I'll be on at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. Talking about stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to go every single day. And then I'm also going to do the DL shorts, and it's going to be the other stuff out there, and there's going to be random shows. It's going to be crazy. We're going to keep working hard. But this is the thing, like Budweiser made a decision. Nike's also involved in this. Nike made a decision using the same kid to push some of their workout clothes, right? Again, this is a boy who identifies as a girl, and I guess there's a transition process going on, and these companies are getting behind it. Okay, that's what you want to do. That's fine. That's fine. You know what I mean? But there's going to be pushback. Brother Doug, um, is there a law that judges can't receive gifts cause senators do by lobbyists? LOL. Yeah, but they're supposed to disclose those gifts and services and or whatever. So and Clarence Thomas disclosed some of the stuff, but he didn't disclose all of it. And I'm trying to get into the rules. There are rules, and I'm trying to get into it. And apparently, the Supreme Court, they have their own rules that they create. So there's no real oversight from any of the other branches. So, and that's where the big thing is going on. Like, yeah, they have rules, and it. Maybe he broke some rules, maybe he didn't, but we got to look at the optics of the whole thing. You know what I mean? You flying around on your homeboy who's a one percenter, this mogul. You flying around on his private jet. You're on his yacht doing stuff. He got his people around you, and we're supposed to believe that these people aren't influencing you to some extent. Come on now. Again, I ain't mad. Cody's Kings in the house. What's good, bro? Always a pleasure to see you, man. Always a pleasure to see all of y'all, to be honest with you, man. So yeah, corporate America is doing what they're doing. They're trying to make money. They're trying to get as much money as they can from all these different communities. I understand that. You know what I mean? But to sit back, if they will sit back and think that there's not going to be pushback, it's ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that they knew it was going to be maybe a little bit of pushback. I don't believe that they understood how big, how massive YouTube is now, and it's growing. And YouTube is still a very, 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 very small part of the global media apparatus. YouTube is small, but it's growing. It is absolutely growing. So there was another article in Time magazine that I want to pull up, guys. We can go over this one too. And it's just one of those things, bro. It's like, again, you gotta think. You gotta think stuff. You know what I mean? Looking at these, these people in corporate America, man, they're not thinking. They're not thinking. I don't know if they can or can't think. They're not thinking, bro. So this is Time magazine, and this article came out. See if I can find it. I don't think it shows when the article came out, but I want to say this article came out. Oh, here it is, April 8th, right? April 8th, this article came out. From Bud Light to Nike brands to Nike, brands are facing conservative backlash for featuring trans people. Why they're sticking to their decisions. Well, and that's really what I wanted to know. Like, why are they sticking? Why are they doubling down so hard? I really wanted to, know that. So it's like, well, let's get into this. So major brands are now increasingly partnering with transgender actors and influencers in their ad campaigns with massive support from the LGBTQ community and its allies. Brands like Bud Light and Nike, however, have come under fire for featuring trans influencers like Dylan Mulvaney in the face of growing anti-trans hate and legislation. Now, this is the part, the anti-trans thing. The anti-trans thing. So this we're coming, like, bro, this is where we're coming from when we got we got Dave Smith boycott Budweiser. Hey, bro, that's easy for me to do because I don't like beer. Budweiser is trash, bro. All the beer is trash. I'm a cognac guy, so it's easy for me not to drink it. But this thing right here, when they talk about anti-trans, I mean, is it anti-trans or anti anything to push back? Like, if I'm pushing, if you're doing something I don't like, and I decide to push back, or I decide to not use your product or service, or whatever, am I anti whatever? I don't get that part. Don't I have an opportunity? Can I sit here and decide what I want to do, what I want to say? Aren't we free? Kind of. How is it anti-trans? Now, listen, I know there are people out there. There are people out there in the world, in this country, right now, that will never accept me because of my skin tone. They'll never accept me because I'm a black man. I understand that. There are people out there who will never respect women. They will never accept women as equals, as human. You know what I mean? They will never do it. I know that. The same thing with they will never accept Jewish people. They will never accept Asian people. Right? There are those people out there who hate. I get that. I'm not talking about them. But when we sit here and say that you can't decide what's good for you or what you like or don't like and what you're going to buy or don't buy, and try to say if you know what I mean? So because of that, you're anti this. Right? You look at someone like Andrew Tate, or you look at the manosphere, you look at whoever, you look at someone like me. It's like, hey man, I'm not really into big girls. So I guess now I'm I'm a fat shamer, right? I'm anti-big. Nah, I'm not gonna go over there and try to get into a relationship with someone who looks like that. I don't want to, I'm not into that. Just like there are women out there who aren't into me for whatever reason. Doesn't mean they're anti-saint. They just don't like me. They want a guy with hair. Maybe they want a guy with muscles. You know what I mean? Maybe they want a guy who's taller than 6 feet. I'm 6 feet. Maybe they want someone who's 6'2". You feel me? This is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Let me catch up with the chat real quick. And Dave, welcome. I didn't recognize you there, but welcome to this channel. I'm glad you're here. Feel free, bro. We cool over here, bro. Like we cool. We gonna have conversation. I'm definitely gonna drop the link. People are gonna be. Everyone's more than welcome to come up and have their say. But just that reading that article, man. That this Time article, and it says growing anti-trans. I don't, man, I can't get behind that. It's not anti anything if you don't like it. It's not anti if you don't like it. Right? So long as you work within the rules, it's still, man, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all got to tell me. I don't really see it as anti. There are people who are anti whatever. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about them. And I mean, I don't know, y'all. Help me out with that one. Brother Doug, let me see. It's not only their thinking, they have a united agenda to push. This fourth wave industrial revolution is going to destroy the job market. The population will be greater than the amount of available jobs. I can see that, bro. It's definitely there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I can see that, bro. And Brother Doug continues, in the available jobs in the future, decreasing the population with the LGBT agenda is one method to bring down the population for the future. Yeah. I mean, we're already not having enough babies. Like, here in the West, they're having the issue in other parts of the country. Most developed nations birth rates are down, but the undeveloped nations birth rates are up. So we'll see. We'll see. Brother Cars in the house. What's good, fam? Anti-trans or uncle anti-trans or uncle trans. LO, that's hilarious. That's funny, bro. I give you that one. Brother Doug, we will see more corporations pushing the trans agenda going forward in the future. I think so. And again, this article gets into that. So that's why I pulled this one up. Brother Cody is king. Like the video on the way in, guys. Just please do like the video on the way in, people. I appreciate that. I personally am anti-fat chicks. That's Brother Cody in the house, making it known. Casual Germs in the house. What's good, fam? Welcome. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Happy Easter for those of you guys who are religiously inclined, and that's your thing. Brother Car. Just a quick flyby to wish y'all a happy Easter or holiday. Hey, thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for just popping in, man. It means a lot. You know what I mean? And again, Brother Car, it will always leave comments. Like, he might have to leave the live, but he'll be in the comments in team replay, letting his voice be heard. So, and and again, guys, I appreciate you guys, though. I really do, because these are the conversations we need to be having, man. This platform, bro, we have built a place where we can come and have these conversations, man, and we can talk like grown folks, man. Yeah, we get a couple trolls every now and then. We don't get them that often anymore, which is good. I like to think the trolls come over here and they hear what we're talking about and they just sit back and listen. You know what I mean? Which is cool. And I mean, I encourage this dialogue. We need to talk about this stuff, y'all. This is our country, right? This is our society. And I mean, it's going the wrong way, in my opinion. It's going the wrong way. How are we gonna bring it back? That's what we have this for, bro. Like, I'm gonna say it one more time. I think our country is going the wrong way. I don't think it's lost. I think we can bring it back. But the only way we're gonna do it is to sit down and have these conversations, man. We gotta talk like grown-ups, bro. We gotta look at this. Like I said, man, I don't care who you sleep with, who you love. I told my daughter this too. When we had that conversation, I said, look, because again, there was a 2-hour conversation. In that conversation, my 12 or 13, she was 12 at the time, 12 and a half. Let's make it 12 and a half, right? She was telling me about, lesbians, women marrying each other, and gay, homosexual men marrying each other and having kids. Like, well, how's that possible? Well, they can adopt. 12 and a half years old. Again, and she couldn't name 3 cities in America. She couldn't name 3 cities. But she's telling me how 2 women or 2 men can have a child. I'm like, look, all right. I said, and I had to explain to her, well, that's all because of our technology. That's all because of our society. We have set it up to where if people have children and they want to give their children up for adoption and stuff like that, But I was like, how can 2 women have a child the normal way? And she sat there for 5 minutes and she said they can't, but they can adopt. I mean, she didn't even get into the whole surrogate and all that kind of stuff because apparently they ain't taught her that yet. Maybe that's too advanced for a 12-year-old. But this is why I don't have a problem with all that stuff. My problem is, what are we teaching our kids? You know what I mean? And then, but that's for another show. That's for another show. You know what I mean? Brother Doug, I enjoy these current topics. Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy out there. You're like, this is my other account. Appreciate that, bro. Because I'm looking at that too. I'm like, what picture? Done change this picture up? I appreciate that, man. Brother Doug, I don't see us bringing it back. The younger generation sees society differently. Plus, when we have a 1%, well, the 1% pushing agendas to gain more power and control, they own the media, agriculture, and the banks. Yeah, but they're letting the banks fail. And, especially in it, yeah. I mean, they're doing the best they can, but they haven't changed the one man, one vote, one woman, one vote thing. They can't buy all the votes they need to really make it happen. So until that happens, there's definitely a change. And the fact that we're not teaching children how to think, which means we have generations of dumb kids. Yeah, maybe we got maybe 2 more generations to pull it out. I still think that we can pull it out though, but we just got a couple generations, to do it. So we'll see, man. You see, I'm gonna catch up these last chats. I'm gonna get back to the article. Brother Doug, UBI, Universal Basic Income, will not be sustainable long term once the jobs are replaced by technology. It's a good point. The banks are failing because they're about to introduce the CBDCs, which is the central bank digital currency. Yes, and we're gonna talk about that too next week. It's a lot going on right now, y'all. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. And I think what's gonna kind of hurt these plans for the 1% or whoever the powers to be, whoever they are, I think what's gonna hurt them is the fact that China's out here trying to devastate the US dollar right now. So they're gonna have to put their efforts into, fending off China from removing the US dollar, the petrodollar, and the US dollar as the reserve currency of the world. If China can pull that off, then we're all going to have bigger problems. And, all the stuff we're talking about goes away, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Brother Doug, the food and water are pumped with estrogen. I've heard that before, bro. And we don't know what's in our bottled water anymore, too. Brother Mandrell's in the house, man. What's good, Mandrell? It's crazy. So let me get back to the article, and then I'm going to drop the link. But I want to get back to the article first. So despite being the targets of criticism from online trolls and conservative public figures, advertising shows no sign of slowing down in trans representation of and continues to symbolize the allyship. So, it's just basically saying that they're going full go. Corporations are going full go. Including our community, including our community in marketing is nothing new. But what is new is the extreme right wing politicalization of companies' creative and business decisions. And this is Sarah Kate Ellis, president of the NGO Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, which is GLAD, said in a statement to Time, companies will not end the standard business practice of including diverse people in ads and marketing because a small number of loud fringe the small number of loud fringe of LBGTQ activists make noise on all social media. Okay. Transgender representation in advertising has come a long way over the decades since subtle queer coded messaging first began popping up 40 years ago. And when marketers described it as our little secret in the 90s, estimates show that the global LGBTQ community has at least 3.7 trillion in purchasing power, and data indicates that compared to generic ads, queer inclusive ads can help consumers remember brands better, inspire higher price purchases, and foster a more progressive company image. So there you have it right there. There are 3.7 trillion reasons why corporations worldwide are going after this, community. $3.7 trillion in purchasing power worldwide. And that, I was looking at that, I was like, 3.7 trillion. Why would they use the worldwide number? There's another article. We're going to start looking into the record that they want to make the LGBTQ community look as best they can. That $3.7 trillion tag right there is like, wow, man, that's a lot of money, bro. Right? That's a lot of money. But what is it here in America? Like, what, how big is it? Because when you look at the segment, like just African Americans, for instance, right? The African Americans, in America, we can, black folks in America, we consume somewhere in the neighborhood of 830 some odd $billion a year. That's how much that's the black dollar. It's like 830. I want to say $837 billion a year. That's the black dollar. So, okay, what's the LGBTQ dollar here in America? I don't know. Is it bigger than that? Worldwide is $3.7 trillion, but what is it here in America? And I would imagine that America is probably the most, LGBTQ friendly nation on the planet. I mean, here, UK, probably the two biggest, I guess Canada, but $3.7 trillion worldwide. I mean, like, okay, I would like to see the breakdown nation by nation. But again, that's a lot of money. At the end of the day, that's what they're looking at. Corporations are looking at that money. How can they get their share? They want to get into that. That's everyone wants to tap into that, right? If you're in the boardroom, you're talking about it, like, you don't care about their lifestyle. You just look at how much money they can possibly spend. So they're gonna do what they got to do, right? And again, I ain't mad. I ain't mad at all. Brands know that LGBTQ inclusion is good for business, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. It reaches our community and also reaches the growing number of consumers who want to see their LGBTQ friends and family members in ads and campaigns. All right. Increasing representation and hate. National brands have increasingly featured trans inclusion in ads over the last several years, but it still isn't the norm. Companies like Pantene, Gillette, City, and Adidas have made headlines for hiring trans actors and pledging their support. However, as anti-trans discrimination persists, the transgender people continue to be targeted in Americans' political cultural wars. Progressive companies and trans brand representatives face conservative condemnation. Again, it's not anti-trans if you don't want to target that group. If I'm not trying to, if I'm selling widgets and I'm not gonna have a trans widget, I'm not gonna have a trans widget, I'm not gonna have a gay widget. That doesn't mean I'm against the community. Man, my widgets are non-binary, bro. If I'm selling light bulbs, here's my light bulb. Take it or leave it. I just like maybe I don't want to go after that dollar. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Take it or leave it. I don't see it as being anti. Now, if you got people who come in there and they're, trans people, you won't sell your products to them, and even then, like you have a right to refuse service. But I mean, I think I would say that's wrong. Like I'm not gonna sell my light bulb to you because you're wearing a dress and you're a guy. Nah, I'm not here. You can buy a case of them. I don't care. That's wrong. You know what I mean? If you're breaking the law, then that's anti something. That'd be anti-black, anti-woman, anti-trans, whatever religious group, enter the name there. If you want to be anti-Muslim, anti-Jewish, you know what I mean? If you're breaking the law, that's one thing. And yes, that's anti. But if you're sitting back, like I'm just not making ads, right, for that segment of the population, it does not mean that I'm anti. Like I don't need special ads to sell my light bulbs to those people over there, whoever they may be. You know what I mean? That doesn't, you know what I mean? Well, if you don't support us, you're anti-us. Like, no, I'm just, hey man, good luck. Do you? I'm over here doing me. That's my whole point. That's my whole point right there, bro. It anti-trans discrimination. Discrimination is against the law. What type of discrimination are we talking about? If you can prove it, you got a case. You know what I mean? Just last week, Mulvaney was slammed with online hate after sharing sponsored Instagram photos promoting her brand deals with Bud Light and Nike. Right? In retaliation, Mulvaney's posts were flooded with aggressive comments and threats to boycott the companies. Countless videos appeared online throwing Bud Light beer into the trash and pouring it down the drains. Several former Olympic athletes, including Caitlyn Jenner, criticized the sponsorships and misgendered Mulvaney. What's misgendered? You see how confusing this gets? What's misgendered? I don't understand. I don't understand. So Caitlyn Jenner, I mean, I guess Caitlyn Jenner didn't use Mulvaney's pronouns properly. So I guess that's misgender. Man, what's misgender, y'all? Somebody in the chat tell me. Follow in the comments, right? Nike spoke on one of his Instagram posts, reminding people to be kind, inclusive, and encouraging. What if I don't want to be kind, inclusive, or encouraging? You're allowed to be mean. People are mean. Kids are mean. You can't, I mean, Nike put out a post on Instagram telling people you need to be kind, inclusive, and encouraging. Hate speech, bullying, or other behaviors are not in the spirit of diverse and inclusive community will be deleted, Nike wrote. So if you put anything on there that we don't like or we think is bullying or whatever, those comments are going to be deleted. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. In a statement, Anheuser-Busch and the brewing companies that produce Bud Light said it works with hundreds of influencers across all brands as one of many ways to authentically connect with audiences across various demographics, right? And that was from BuzzFeed News. They reported that on Tuesday. Mulvaney, who has more than 10 million TikTok followers, has been a frequent target of anti-trans conservatives for posting content about her transition journey, as well as solely for being a transgender woman. Mulvaney has been attacked online by famous figures like Tennessee Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn and singer Kid Rock. You have people who are sort of divided over what roles do brands truly play in these highly politically charged and divisive social issues. Dab Gabber, CEO, branding agency, Soul Marketing, previously told Time. So So here it is, though. Like we're again, the bottom line is money. Like they're trying to get money. They want to get money from that community. They're gonna ruffle feathers, and in return, they're gonna get their feathers ruffled. You got people who like just gonna push back. You know what I mean? And now we got this thing. If we've come away from science, if I mean, yo, sorry, you don't get to choose your gender. You're born with it. You don't get to choose it. I'm sorry. If you're uncomfortable with that basic fact, I'm sorry. Now you can be a man trapped in a woman's body, but that means you were born a woman. Now, science is at a point where you can have things added or taken away. I'm not sure what science, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the technology is today. But when it's all said and done, you really can't change the way you were born. Now you can choose whatever kind of clothes you want to wear and how you want to talk and who you want to associate yourself with and all that. And that's your business. Who you love and all that, that's your business. But at the end of the day, like I'm sorry, when we shouldn't be going around talking about transgender man or transgender woman. Like it's gonna have to be I get confused. Like the shooter, the active shooter in Tennessee. I thought it was a guy. I thought it was a dude, and they were like, "No, it's a woman who wants to be a dude." All right, it's a woman. It's so confusing to me. And then I guess I'm anti-trans if I refuse to reprogram the way that I think. If I refuse to use real logic and science, nah, bro, you a man. And this whole being able to go and change your birth certificate. No, man. Like I don't agree with that. Live your life the way you want to live it, but you're living it inside the body that you got here with. I don't care how you modify your body. That means there was a dude, a former Green Beret, who transitioned to be a woman, and he's an MMA fighter. No women can beat him. Why? Because he's a man. Now you can put all of the hormone stuff, use all the medicine you want to try to suppress his biological, truth. He's a man. You can do what you want to do to try to suppress that, right? But he's still a man. If a woman gets into a ring with that man, that woman's going to get beat because she's fighting a man. Bone density is different. Lung capacity is different. Like the muscle strength is different. Even if you're trying to suppress the testosterone, he still has had decades and decades of testosterone is in him. You can't get it out. This is my problem with it. Like you can do what you want to do, but understand that's a man. So, ladies, you're not going to do it. There was an assault that occurred in Miami. I want to say within the past 72 hours. It was on Brickell Bay. It was at a 7-Eleven on Brickell Bay Drive, which I'm very familiar with that street. I'm always on that street. I have people who live on that street. This is in Brickell. It's a very nice neighborhood. This guy goes to 7-Eleven, calmly walks in, takes a cup of ice, takes some potato chips, and just tries to walk out the store. We're going to steal them. And winds up engaging with two of the store, the two people who worked at the store. You know what I mean? The clerks or whatever. Tried to engage with this man, and the clerks were beaten. They were beaten pretty bad. It was a man fighting two women. He handled them easily. He beat them pretty bad. And when I see stuff like this, I get so upset. I'm like, yo, ladies, don't try to fight a man. I don't care how small he looks to you. Don't try to fight a man. It's not going to go well for you. Now they're trying to find this guy. I hope they catch him. He looked homeless to me. He had a bicycle, and they're putting his pictures out everywhere. They're trying to find this guy. And they should find this guy. And this assault. It's pretty bad assault. I mean, no weapons were used or anything like that. But we can't change biology. We can't. We cannot. So when I see this stuff, I mean, it's just like, yo, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Brother Doug, I see the big picture and can't connect the dots on what will be needed to carry out the big picture, which is globalization. I see you there. We got Sister Beautifully Animated in the house. What? Beautifully Animated speaks. What's good, girl? Happy Sunday, happy Easter, and all that good stuff to you. Welcome. Thanks for coming through. Always good to see you. We got Dusto in the house, man. Scam likely up in this piece. Convo and chill with Tommy B's up in this piece. What's good, fam? I see you out there, man. Hey, man. Why'd they delete that boy in San Francisco, man? Dude made cash out. What's going on out there, player? Like, it ain't safe in them streets, boy. 2 a.m, man. They got him in San Francisco, bro. Stuck him, man. That's terrible. That is absolutely. California's falling apart, y'all. And that's probably like the woke mecca. California is falling apart. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's so much going on in California right now. It is insane. I got my eye on it. A lot of people say, you know, whatever happens in like California is like the bellwether. Whatever happens in California is going to happen in the rest of the country. I hope that's not the case. And I'm not talking about the wokeness. I'm talking about the crime, and I'm talking about what's going on with real estate and what's going on with the markets as far as businesses and all that kind of stuff. California's falling apart, bro. They're saying they're having a mass exodus of the top 5% of earners, top 10% of earners. The rich people are leaving California now. And yeah, I'm gonna be talking about this as the week goes on. Doesn't look good for the state of California right now. You know what I mean? So I'm glad y'all are here. Look at Scam like Caitlyn Jenner. Hey man, y'all wilding. Casual germ. Miss Gender is someone calls me a female dog. I'm trying to keep it. You know, YouTube is really cracking down on me. Like one curse word, bro, and I'm like demonetized. Like, biatch. But I am a man. Is that misgendered? That's funny. Brother Doug, the way it's going, saying in fact will be a hate crime. It looks that way, bro. That one I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. It's getting kind of out of control like that, man. The way it's going, it looks that way. This woke stuff may actually trigger a civil war. That's casual germ. Now I don't see any civil wars popping off in America, man. It just Americans ain't built like that. They're just not built like that. I don't see it, and it would take more than what's going on now to trigger a civil war in this country. You got, it's just, we got these different communities and we got these different echo chambers, and it seems like, oh man, it's crazy. But the average American, average American ain't built like that, bro. Just I'm gonna put it to you there. I don't see that happening, man. You know what I mean? A civil war. Brother Doug, Fed Now app had to get Cash App out of the way. Ooh, look at Doug with his tinfoil hat on, man. Out here starting these conspiracies. Brother Tommy B, see, that was a government hit, bro. Hey, man, they have nothing on that, bro. They got no video. They got no witnesses. They got nothing on that, bro. Nothing. Like I'm looking at that like, okay. But the thing is, and my brother was saying the same thing a few days ago, and I'm like, bro, if it was a hit, that was the perfect city to do it in. Because you got all those homeless out there. You got armed homeless people out there. Like San Francisco ain't no joke, bro. I mean, it's all kind of pull up on you robberies and stuff like that. Dudes riding around in cars, see a group of dudes, they'll just pull up, grab their things, like, yo, check it in. So that's crazy. 2 a.m, just walking around. Brother Doug, Zell and Venmo better watch their backs. Like, hey, man, they might have to. Brother Tommy B, the whole thing was on video. How come I ain't seen that one, bro? The whole thing is on video because they were saying they was asking for help. I seen the video of him walking around after the fact looking for help. They got videos from different businesses and hotels. But I mean, you saying they got a video of the event? Wow, that's crazy. Brother Doug, history repeats itself. Don't sleep on a civil war. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't see it. I mean, look at what was going on during the Vietnam War, right? And just, during the hippie times in America. If there was ever going to be a civil war, it would have been then. And you had law enforcement, like the Ohio National Guard shooting on kids at Kent State. I mean, if there was definitely, you had what was going on with the race issues and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If there were ever going to be a civil war, it would have took place. I would imagine it would have happened then. Today ain't nearly as bad as it was back then. I mean, it's bad, but it's not nearly as bad. Yeah, he's like, no face, no case. Now his brother Tommy B, no face, no case, huh? That's crazy. I'll send it. Yeah, please send it to me, bro. I want to see that. Send it to me, man. Brother Doug, retired hillbilly military can set it off. Nah, because and here's the thing: when you talk about the old dudes talking about Civil War and all that, none of those guys were combat arms. None of them. Most of the dudes, like I'm former military, and we started Civil War, and they walking around with weapons and all that. Them dudes weren't combat arms. Them dudes weren't trigger pullers. Them guys were support. They were in the rear with the gear. So they weren't willing to fight when they were in the military. You think they're gonna come home and want to fight? Come on, bro. They just talking crazy, man. They just upset with their life, man. They It's not. I don't see it coming. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it coming, bro. They ain't about it like that. They don't. They ain't built that way, right? Because don't dudes be talking all that madness. You know what I mean? All, especially the racial ones, man. They be talking about all this stuff, but they will never go to the hood. They would never go to the hood. There's a hood in every city, just about. You know what I mean? They never come from flyover country. We're gonna leave flyover country, go from the Dakotas to the south side of Chicago, or we're gonna go to South Central LA, or go down to Miami, you know what I mean, hit Hialeah up. Nah, bro. Nah. They ain't ready for that smoke, man, because they know all these dudes gonna dump on it in a heartbeat. They ain't ready for that, man. I'm telling you, bro. And getting shot at, man, I'm telling you. That changes your whole perspective on everything. First time somebody pull out one of them things and let it go, and you the target, rounds go whistling by, man, that changes everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? Brother Doug, like times are different. Those coal miner types feel like their back sore in the corner. Like I say, they ain't built like that, bro. Those coal miners, they ain't leaving their areas, man. They're not doing it. They ain't coming out of Appalachia, man, and going into the cities. They ain't doing it. You know what I mean? All this talk and think like a civil war. I mean, one faction is gonna have to fight the government. Yeah, it's you're gonna have to fight the government and all the people who rock with the government. So you got a faction of hitters out there, the real hitters, like the poor blacks and like the real trigger pullers, the real veterans who came back from real shooting wars, those rural guys, you know what I mean, the hunters and stuff like that. Them dudes, nah, they're good guys. They're like, nah, they gonna look at it and like, it's bad, it ain't that bad. And they're not gonna, I just don't see it, bro. I just don't see it. Brother Tommy B, no different than all those white patriots that didn't join the military after 9/11. Exactly. They ain't built for it, bro. Most Americans ain't built for it, man. I don't see no civil war happening. Casual germs, yeah, the guys I know that were door kickers are pretty humble. The ones acting crazy on social media are the ones with no combat, right? No combat regiments. These guys out here ain't never seen it. They ain't never been down range. You know what I mean? They've never been down range, man. So they don't know what it's about, man. I'm telling you. The sights and sounds, man, of combat, even if it's just urban combat, you're not in the military, just in the streets. I'm telling you, bro. Seeing someone get shot dead in the street, bro, I'm telling you, it changes you, man. It lets you know what it is. These dudes, man, they just talking, man. They ain't ready for it. They're not. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, and Brother Doug, I don't see an organized civil war. I see chaos coming, man. This country is all about chaos. I get you that. Yeah. We all about chaos. Yeah, all right. I'm of chaos. I was born in chaos, bro. Like I was able to get out of the chaos. Right? I joined the military during wartime. I went to war to get out of the chaos. There was the streets, bro. You know what I mean? Like Brother Tommy say, yeah, man, this stuff makes you move different. He ain't lying. It makes you move different, bro. Like when you got to deal with that, it makes you move different. I don't want drama. Especially now, my age, I do not want drama, bro. I done seen plenty of it in the streets. I saw enough of it, you know what I mean, dealing with what I was dealing with in the Army. I don't want drama, bro. Yes, but we'll see. I mean, again, I could be wrong. People didn't see an insurrection, but it happened. Yeah, but here's the thing though. If and again, like, and I love having these back and forth with you, but if what you are saying is true, then that insurrection would have been hot. They say that them dudes had weapons cached around DC and stashed or whatever, weapons and ammo, but they didn't grab them. They say they had that. And here's the thing: when it popped off, there was no military force on the ground. There were no guards or reservists on the ground. The police were outnumbered. It went the way it went. But if they was about it, they'd have had them things on them. And they didn't. You know what I mean? So like I said, bro, I think that's just saber rattling and all that. They just talking big, talking loud, saying nothing. Them dudes to be talking that, man, they ain't about that life. I'm telling you. It's like watch Unforgiven. The ending sequence in Unforgiven when Clint Eastwood goes into the bar where all the dudes, the posse was forming, and Gene Hackman was talking to him like, yeah, get you a couple drinks. Now we're gonna go out, we're gonna find this guy, the guy they're looking for, walk into the bar. Like, here I am right here. Who owns this bar? Y'all got my man's, y'all got my man's body outside on display. Who owns this bar? Well, I do. You know what I mean? Eastwood got right to it. You know what I'm saying? Put dude right down. Like, bow. Now you got Gene Hackman talking crazy. He's talking like, I'm about to take care of you too. Telling people to get out the way. You might want to move from behind him. Gene Hackman in there talking crazy. Go watch that. You want to see the difference between dudes who really do something and dudes who just be talking? That movie Unforgiven shows you that. That's a really good. Brother Doug, watch that movie. Watch that movie, Brother Doug. Because all them dudes in there talking big old posse. We finna go get this guy, and that guy showed up by himself, took care of that whole room. Took care of that whole room. Right? He didn't have enough rounds to get everybody. Everybody in there had pistols, but they all left. After he took care of a few dudes, laid them down, everybody else left. Y'all get on out of here now. You know what I'm saying? That is America in that situation. Go watch that scene. In that scene, America are those guys in the room talking crazy. Those are the former vets talking crazy in the room, got their little pistol. We're about to go get this guy. Yeah, let's go get him. Right? Clint Eastwood represents real drama. Clint Eastwood represents what happens in the real fight, like reality. He walked up in there and started laying people down. Again, I'm trying to keep it YouTube friendly. He went in there and started laying people down. And when those tough dudes saw that, they left. They left. They ain't want nothing to do with that man. They left. And they picked up all the dudes he shot and they buried them all. They ain't do nothing to Clint Eastwood character, man. I'm telling you, go ahead and watch that, bro. Watch that movie, bro. America don't want no drama like that, man. Brother Doug, if the dollar loses value, hyperinflation, major job losses, chaos will break off. Yeah, and I don't doubt that. It'll be survival of the fittest, right? And people will figure out if they food or not. There's two types of people in this world, bro. Especially that type of world when it all falls apart. Right? You got predators and prey. You're going to find out real quick which one you are in that situation. You know, most people, man, like I said, most people are sheep. They want to stay in their herds where it's nice and safe, and they want to be told what to do. That's most people. Right? So when it jump off, the herd's going to stay intact, and they're just going to wait to see who the alpha is, and they're going to listen to them people. The alpha might be the local, you know what I mean, kingpin. It could be the local plug. It could be the local gang, right? It could be some cartel might come into America and take over regions. They don't care. They'll let it happen just so long as the herd gets to stay safe and they can go about their lives and do whatever. I mean, that's how it works, bro. So I ain't worried about, chaos and war. Like chaos and civil war are two different things. You know what I mean? Again, like I said, there's people who live in chaos in America every single day. Go to your local hood and see what I'm talking about. Brother Tommy B, what was the real consequences from the insurrection? One person, shot and deleted. Yeah, it was one person, one former Air Force woman tried to climb in that room and they had to put a round in her. When them bullets fly, I've seen gangsters freeze up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Seen it, man. Hey, Brother Tommy B ain't lying. Brother Doug, I just the insurrection isn't maybe I guess the insurrection. Oh, I use the insurrection as an example. People never saw it coming. I was referring to it as the magnitude of it. Oh, okay. Okay, I can see that, bro. But if they never saw the insurrection coming, I'm telling you, the type of chaos you're saying, man, if we wake up tomorrow and it's the type of chaos, like the dollar completely collapsed, right? Hyperinflation, like people start, using money to wallpaper their rooms because the dollar's worthless. If that happens, we still have the most powerful military on the planet. I mean, if that happens, then America's just gonna have to go out there and take it. Just gonna have to go out there and take it, bro. That's what it boils down to. So at the end of the day, you got to understand, and I've said this before, man, like America is the most vicious society I think the world has ever seen, man. We're worse than the Vikings, worse than the Spartans. I mean, worse than Rome. Like, come on now. Like, if the dollar loses value, okay, we just gonna go out there and take what we need to take. I think it'll be more of that happening than the other. Like, oh, just complete chaos in America. Nah, bro. We still got that military. You know what I mean? We still got them bombs, bullets. We still got shooters, right? We got Canada and Mexico right to our north and south. If it came down to that, guess what? We taking Canada. We taking Mexico. We're gonna shut the cartels down. We're gonna take over the drug business. If it really came down to that, bro, like I said, the one thing in America is this, bro. Like, we are vicious. We are vicious. I don't see America falling. Not like that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, we finna go get it. Well, the yuan, China, the Chinese currency is now the currency of the world. Well, guess what? We're gonna have to go over there and take China then, won't we? China's neighbors will be happy. Guess what? We're gonna have to shut down North Korea, won't we? War is big business. And we're overpopulated anyway, man. It'd be like, okay, it's time for a haircut. Hey, planet, it's time for a haircut. Here come the Americans. And they ain't got nothing to lose. That's the last thing the world wants to see. That's the absolute last thing the world wants to see. So I don't know. I mean, I agree with you, Brother Doug, that there's definitely gonna be some hardship ahead. Civil war. Okay, we both agree we're not talking about civil war. Okay, and we're talking about chaos. Okay, there's chaos, but again, like when they completely mess up the dollar, which they're trying really hard to do, when the dollar completely collapses, it's a wrap, bro. And we still get all that gold in Fort Knox. We have gold reserves from a bunch of our allies, bro. Like I'm telling you, we still that crazy dude on the block, man. It's at the end of the day, we gonna get it one way or the other. That's how my mind thinks. Maybe I'm too diabolical. Y'all tell me. Brother Ian with the $20 super chat, bro. I appreciate you, man. I really do, man. I don't know where Sister Candace is, but I got this one for her. Hey, I had to go get the button, y'all. Sorry, it was real loud. That's the first time I used it. My bad. I probably got people with their headphones like, God damn it, Saint, turn that down. Brother Ian Simmons, though. Clint Eastwood swam from a sinking ship to shore in real life as an officer in the Army. He's that dude. Facts. I want to say Eastwood was a Ranger. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, he's that dude. And thank you so much for the support, brother. I really appreciate that. You know what I mean? Brother Doug, just like Rome went up in flames and fell. Yeah. I mean, every empire falls, right? And America is just, we're an empire like any other. But like I said, right now, our military might is ridiculous. Ridiculous, bro. I just don't, I don't know. We'll see. And Brother Doug, did you hear about Mexico waiting to join the that's fine. I haven't heard about that. I'm gonna have to look that up though. But Mexico got its own problems, man. The cartels run that country. They run that country. And you saw what happened with those people from South Carolina that got murdered in Mexico's, down there getting a tummy tuck for their friend or whatever. And the Mexicans brought out the guys that they say did it, right? The cartels don't want that smoke either. The cartels understand, like, there's no way we can deal with America's might when it comes to their military. America going like the U.S. is not Russia. Our weapon systems work, and they work really, really well. So if America decided to do something like take Russia, like take Mexico, that's an afternoon, bro. That's an afternoon. And the primary targets will be all the cartels. Secondary targets will be the government buildings and stuff like that in Mexico. That is one afternoon. I mean, just the assets alone in Texas. Our armor is in Texas. right? The 18th Airborne Brigade, 18th Airborne Corps is in North Carolina. That's a quick flight. You got armor coming in from Texas, right? You got, I mean, dude, they just Air Force assets in California. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, man, like the Navy is parked in San Diego, right? It wouldn't take but an afternoon to deal with Mexico. And the Mexicans know it. More importantly, the cartels know it. The cartels don't want nothing to do with America, bro. So like I would just trouble you. I would just suggest to you that think that one through, bro. And brother Doug, okay, we agree that they are purposely trying to destroy the dollar. Absolutely. Yeah, China's definitely trying to destroy the dollar. You know what I mean? Ferno Clemente. Yeah, it's okay, loud. Sorry, bro. I don't want to make it too loud. I ain't trying to blow y'all eardrums out. Brother Doug, we have the military, but we also have many vulnerabilities. The beer bug showed us that. Yeah, man, again, smoke and mirrors, bro. At the end of the day, there's not a nation on the planet that can stand against America's military might. That's not a single nation. You can look at it, well, what about Somalia? Hey, bro, that was some random one-off stuff. You know what I mean? When America decides to go to war, no one can stop us. And people are like, well, what about Vietnam? We lost in Vietnam. We pulled out of Vietnam. We didn't really lose. And the fact that we didn't fight a conventional war like you normally fight. Like the Vietnamese were going into Laos and Cambodia, and there were lines Americans couldn't cross. There were invisible lines in the sky that the Air Force couldn't pursue. We weren't allowed to go and bomb Hanoi. I mean, it was so many different things. They were worried about so many different other things. If it were total war in Vietnam, even back then, man, that wouldn't last more than 2 years. If the American generals were allowed to go after the Vietnamese like they wanted to, that war wouldn't have lasted long at all. The Vietnamese outlasted us. They did a good job. I'm not taking anything from them. Those tough men and women over there, they fought. They sacrificed. And it was some outrageous number for every American soldier that died. It was like 100 Vietnamese died or something like it was something stupid. Don't quote me on that. I have to go check the stats, but it was stupid. In America, we fought a war based on body count. Went in, took a hill, gave it back. You go watch that We Were Soldiers. Go watch that movie. All that devastation, all that loss of life. To take that position, they took that hill only to walk away from it. They would counted up all the bodies that they, okay, we lost this many Americans versus that many Vietnamese, we won. Nah, man, that was So when you look at stuff like Vietnam, you look at stuff like Somalia, Black Hawk Down kind of stuff. When you look at that sort of thing, like that's not even real. If America decided to go out and actually fight, who can stand up against us, bro? Who would want to? And I'm just saying that kind of stuff, bro. Like, who would want to? I wouldn't. Must be crazy. Dude, the American army is well trained, well equipped. And here's the thing. Yeah, we're having trouble recruiting people. We are. Yeah, there's too many fat Americans out there. Americans aren't smart enough. True. But if we get into a situation like, well, we're going to war, first thing they're going to do is institute the draft. We're going to talk about that Monday, tomorrow. They're going to institute the draft. And we don't care how smart you are. They're going to stop this woke training. It's going to look like Full Metal Jacket again. They're going to let the drill sergeants do their thing. And everybody's going to be in the military and no one is going to be able to stop us. At least that's my take on it. I could be wrong. Let me drop the link, y'all. Because I've gone off on tangents. We're supposed to be talking about what's going on with Budweiser and the wokeness movement. So there's the chat, y'all. The link's in there if anybody wants to come up and talk. It's Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. Let's do me a favor. Let's keep our language as clean as we possibly can for my sake, for monetization's sakes. But Brother Ian gave us a donation, so we good. I guess we could probably drop a few curse words. You know what I mean? And again, thank you, brother, for that. I really appreciate that. Because these days, when you talk about the kind of stuff that we talk about on YouTube, we're talking about this kind of political stuff. We're talking about wokeness. We're talking about war. We're talking about like when we talk about the red pill stuff, the social media stuff, when we had these conversations, YouTube does not like this content, y'all. They don't. They can't make as much money on it. This content, this type of content is not sponsor friendly. So when we do have these discussions, they look for any excuse to demonetize me. You know what I mean? Not just me, to demonetize folks. So help me out. And like when I see stuff like, oh, we get a donation, I'm like, all right, cool. We can go ahead and let some curse words fly. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that is how we are. That's how we're supported. Because they will definitely shut down. They will definitely shut down our streams of income because they do want to push a narrative. We got brother Tommy B in the house, man. What's good, fam? How you feeling?
What's going on, big dog? I'm chilling, man.
Man, I'm trying. I'm sitting here trying to make it happen. You know what I mean? Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. You know how it go.
Yeah, we all out here, man. But I mean, shit, man. It's just it's funny. I get what Buddy talking about. I think it's the problem is like people like me, your perspective when you've seen certain type of stuff. Um, it's almost like you're not in the matrix no more. You know what people are capable of or even willing to do. And I mean, I can even apply that to other things like, it's being like a truck driver. There's certain stuff that I see out there that I'm just like, normal people won't see because they haven't been experiencing like that. And when you've experienced some of pretty much the highest form of violence and trauma, and you've seen how people react to it, you then understand that everybody, I mean, I say this all the time when I'm in this space is, everybody wants to pop off on the internet, but most people don't want conflict. You know, we used to walk up the street and like pump fake at people and they would jump and they didn't do shit after that. But these are
Right.
the very same people that'll be on the internet talking about how they'll do this, this, and this, and this to you. Like, it's just realistically, especially for us as Americans, because we're so comfortable and have such a posh life, and motherfuckers talk all that shit they want to. That's every time I ran into like with the Kaepernick situation and all these super patriotic ass white dudes. And the first thing I would ask them if they was around my age, maybe a little bit younger, is, so are you a veteran? Well, what does this have to do with anything? Are you a veteran? Well, no. So you mean to tell me 9/11 happened on your watch? You this big badass patriot and you didn't go sign up? In fact, I got a bonus for signing up because so many of you scary my bad. So many of you scary dudes didn't want to sign up. So it's funny how when everything is safe and comfortable, y'all willing to do this, this, and this, but then when the shit hits the fan, where y'all at? I lost a homeboy with that. I asked him, I said, why you ain't signing up? Oh, well, I was making too much money. Oh, wait. But you love America, right? So you love your kids, right? Yep. So could you make enough money not to protect them? He couldn't answer the question. Exactly my point. Like y'all want to sit there, like it's my whole thing is it's nice to say it. It's different when you got to put it in action. And so you can see all of these dudes, and they can do all of this on the internet, and this, and this, and we're ready for a civil war, this, and this, which is fine until you got to walk outside and check your bushes because that's what it'll be in the civil war. You got to walk outside and check your roof and make sure there ain't somebody out there trying to knock your dome off. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, one, aren't willing to live that type of life, and two, ain't even capable of living that type of life. I tell people now when I come home, dude, I do a loop when I come home. And I don't do nothing, bro. I go to work and come home, but just off shit that's happened in the past, I do a loop when I come home. Before I leave my house, I damn near do a perimeter search. People ain't willing to do all that, dog. People want to be able to get their keys, hop in their car, and go where they want to go. If you in a civil war, that's your life, bro. You got to be on your P's and Q's, head on the swivel. People ain't trying to live that life, bro.
They're not, bro. You like you said, you got to be on your tippy toes when you. Because here's the thing: you got people like brothers like Tommy B right here, and brothers like myself. Like we were born into the situations we were born into. We didn't choose that life, right? That life chose us, and we did what we did. And then we both, for our own reasons, we joined the military and we served our countries, and we came home back into that situation that we were in when it all started. And here's the thing: we ain't crying about it, nothing like that. Y'all heard what Brother Tommy just said. You want to have a civil war? All right, cool. But do you know what that means? We was on our tippy toes long before we joined the military. The military only heightened that. They just trained us up and showed us the real way. Oh, I really know how to deal with an ambush situation. I really know what I'm looking for when my head's on the swivel. And brother Tommy B is right. And Jay Swan said he said the same thing almost a year ago. Like, bro, where the line's gonna be drawn? This ain't the North and South. You're talking about a civil war, like you say. You come outside, it's people on your roof, people in your bushes, right? Did somebody wire your vehicle? Like there's so many different things you need to think about. And you walking around armed, ready to go every day. That's not the life that any American. That's not the life that the average American is accustomed to and used to. All these dudes are talking crazy because the algorithm has them watching all this stuff. They're in these echo chambers. But at the end of the day, ain't nan one of them dudes been punched in their mouth, let alone seen up close and personal what a bullet does to a human body. You know what I mean? Brother Tommy, let me ask you this. Because the topic of the show, what's going on with Budweiser's woke bet. What's your thought on that? Do you think Budweiser made a mistake and underestimated the power of YouTube? Do you think they care? What's your take on that?
It's crazy, like when you run in a business nowadays, because it's like they almost make it to where you can't stand on something. I think at a certain point, as a company, you got to stand on something and just take what it comes with it, you know. And I think the problem with a lot of these businesses, and they're trying to tote the line, you know, they're trying to. I don't want to seem too woke, but at the same time, I don't want to seem like I'm not woke at all. And they try to tightrope it. And in anything that you in, you know, the I ain't in it, dude, get it too. You get it just like you chose a side. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what a lot of these people need to understand is at the end of the day, you gotta pick a side, and you gotta stand on it. And you gotta take whatever comes with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Because if you're in the middle, you're gonna piss off both sides because you're not doing what we want you to do enough, or you're not doing what the other side want to do enough. So you damn near gonna get it from both sides. So, and I think that's the position they in is they're trying to you know tightrope this line that these people have set, and shit, they dealing with the consequences of it.
Right, and I think that's I think you summed it up. Sitting here trying to respond to Brother Doug. I was sitting here trying to type and talk at the same time. That's when you know you're getting old when you can't do stuff at the same time anymore. So, but no, man, I think you're right. I think that at the end of the day, and I had some more stuff. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm gonna wrap it up. But I had there was more articles out here. You know what? I will pull this up real quick just so you can see it, and the rest and those who are still with us can see this. Just what I see what's going on with wokeness, right? There's the corporate side, they're trying to make money. I get that. And then that's what we're doing in our schools. And these kids are getting real confused here. And there's some numbers out here, bro. Like, and this is what you look at the numbers of people and how they identify, quote unquote. So, and here it is right here. This was February of 2022. A record 7.1% of U.S. adults now identify as LGBTQ, and that's from a new poll. So they're saying that 7.1%, and this is from back in 2012 when Gallup last measured the identity. They said that that 7.1% of adults identifies as LGBTQ, and it was 5.6%. Back in 2017. I'm sorry, back in 2017, the poll was 4.5%. So the 7.1% is double the percentage from 2012 when Gallup first measured the identity, and is up over last year's polls that showed that 5.6% of adults identify as, LGBTQ. In a 2017 poll, that number was 4.5%. So from 2017 to 2022, you know what I mean? Look at that, man. It went from 4.5% to 7.1%. My thing is, I believe that folks are out there, they like the attention, so it seems to be the cool thing to say. Do you really think that many more people are like, no, I'm part of that community, Brother Tommy?
I don't know. It's weird because I'm be 100 with you. Another big part of it too is with the women. It seems to be a phase they go through now. Like, and it's like regular. You know, when I was in the military, we literally had a whole floor, and when I was in Pensacola, where it was just basically known as like this is where the dykes be.
Wow, okay.
That was in the female dorms. So I think that's a big part of it. But man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, I gotta give him credit. Imagine 7% punking the shit out of 93% the way that these people is like they moving mean, bro.
Hey,
7%?
that's a good
How
way
are
to
you
look at
even
it,
getting
bro.
attention?
You got to respect that. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Like you got to
That's
respect that.
crazy, bro. If that ain't David versus Goliath type shit, like that's sick. But I mean I think, I think it's also just becoming a lot more easier that if that's what you feel to come out with it. When we grew up, it wasn't so easy for you to come out with it, because of the stuff that, people try to act like wasn't happening. But yeah, people was getting messed up for coming out, people was getting shamed, disowned from their family, yada yada yada. We have to, you got to acknowledge that that was happening. It's happening a lot less now, and I think because it's happening a lot less now, it's becoming more comfortable for you to come out. And I think that's why you start to see the rise in numbers. Because as before, if we still had the same society as we had before, a lot of these people wouldn't come out. They still be tucked away. So I think you just seen the result of it being a lot more comfortable for you to come out and and identify as one of these groups or whatever.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that there is that aspect of it's cool to be identified as one of these groups? Because like when we was coming up, I don't know about what was going on the West Coast, but in the Midwest, it was cool to be known as a dude who's in the streets or a thug. It was cool to be an athlete, you know what I mean? And you hooping and you want, you on the starting squad or whatever. So is it now cool for kids to be like, yeah, I'm non-binary, or yeah, I'm bi, you know what I mean, as a way to kind of up your social status?
For girls, yeah. For guys, I don't think so.
Mm,
I think for girls, like I said, when girls go through that phase, unless you like around some ultra conservative or like religious people, you don't get too much pushback about it. For the guys, I think it's still, I don't know too many people where if they come out, I'm not tripping, but I don't know too many that's like high fiving a motherfucker. Like, like even in the military, like we knew who was. We wasn't tripping off of them, but at the same time, they didn't get no extra clout or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think for the women, yeah, because one, with the whole little bisexual thing, then you get the guys with the ooh, she's a bi, and all of that goofy stuff, and then with the, and then amongst the other women, like I said, they don't um look down on it as much as say us men do. And I don't want to say us men look down on it, but it's just not as taboo, I guess you would say,
mm,
for them to do it as for us. And I think probably the major part of that is the actions you take when you choose that lifestyle. I mean, let's just be 100 with it. I mean, if you're a chick and you choose that lifestyle, at worst case, you're getting done the same way that you would get done if you was with a guy. Chick put on the little apparatus or whatever
right,
and do her
right,
deal. As a
right,
guy, that's a whole nother thing that you're willing to go through. You feel me?
right.
And that's why we say is for chicks, if you go that route, you got some get back. But as a guy, ain't no man really gonna look at you saying it just ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and that's just a double standard that it is what it is. You know what I mean? You just got to deal with that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
as a guy, it's like you all in, literally. You know what I mean?
But again, I mean, and it's based off the actions that you have to take when you do it. Again, as a woman, you're not really doing nothing different than if you was with a guy. There's like anything that she does to you is the same thing that will happen as a guy. As a guy, that's a whole nother experience, bro.
That's a whole nother experience. I
Yeah.
never thought of it that way. All right, cool. That's what's up, bro. You know what I'm saying? See, brother Tommy be coming on here and giving us the real perspective. Like, huh? Yeah, you're right. You're right. And once you say that as a guy that I identify as this, then like you said, it's like, all right, more power to you. But that changes the way you are seen by other men. Hmm.
Um, because I don't even want to go that far with it because I don't judge anybody, anything like that. But I will say, if you decided, like, I'll give you a perfect example like that. I can't remember his name, Andre Caldwell, whatever. Remember the I'm delivered guy?
Yeah.
We don't look at that dude the same. even though he say he not gay no more, we still look at him like, yeah, right. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
like
But
it's cool, but come on, bro.
but as a female, if you heard that she used to mess around with chicks before and then now she's married and got a family, you'd be like, okay, cool. You see what
Right,
I'm saying? Like it's because again, there's not really a barrier that's been crossed as a female when you do that. Because again, what can that woman do to you that a man can't?
right.
Now, you flip it the other way, and it's like, bruh, because even if you let a woman
Do
do
that.
that action to you, we're still looking at you a certain way, like, bruh. You see what I'm saying? So, and I think people don't understand, like, that's the biggest difference. And again, it's not judging you or nothing. It's just when you make that decision, like you said, in our head, we know what you possibly even went through, and it's like really, it's I don't know, maybe it's a flaw amongst us, but as we ain't gonna never be able to just be like, oh, okay, you back on our side type shit, because it's like, hey, the seal's been broken.
Yeah, like your seal's been broken. Yeah, you ain't putting that. The box is open, bro. Ain't no putting it back in. You know what I mean? It's out the
Straight
box.
up. I mean,
And again,
yeah,
it's one of those things you can do that, and that's another thing I wanted to be clear on. Like neither one of us is saying that it's a bad thing. No, do what you want. Love who you want to love, how you want to love them. But understand that comes with a certain thing.
yeah, it's like we were talking about earlier, man. It's having some of them traumatic experiences come, and this is why I tell a lot of people, bro. Y'all listen to these rap songs, you watch these movies. What you aren't prepared for is the motherfucking night. Oh, my bad. Is the nightmares that come with this shit. Is the fucking, the random panic attacks that come with this shit. Me in my truck driving down the motherfucking freeway and literally just pouring down, crying out of fucking nowhere. Like it's a lot of behind the scenes shit that people don't understand, that these goofy rappers don't rap about. And I ain't gonna lie to you, some of them do, but it's on the B cut records that y'all don't even listen to. And if you do listen to it, you ain't even been through that shit enough to even catch it and understand what they talking to you about. Mozzie does a perfect. Is a rapper named Mozzie out of Sacramento. Perfect. Like he literally describes a lot of that stuff to a T. But most of the people ain't gonna listen to that. They gonna listen to the,
Just shoot 'em up,
yeah,
gangbang
I
and
just
stuff.
shot up 50 people last night type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of they not ready for that part. And that's a real thing that comes with it. My dad has 4 boys. Every last one of us has seen somebody get smoked in front of us. Every last one of us.
Mm.
Best friends. My 2 youngest brothers, the crazy part is they fucking grew up in the suburbs and still seen it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and we literally at my youngest brother's birthday party, and I'm in tears with my younger brother because he's still, going through that shit. He's still talking to me about how he literally saw the smoke coming out the hole in his friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that these dudes don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I used to work at UPS, bro, 4-hour shifts. It was part time. Saw my partner, went to work, came back, he was gone. Period. That's the side that motherfuckers ain't ready for. They, like I said, they like the movies. They like to shoot. Oh, he shot 100 rounds and he can still hear. That's the one thing I laugh about.
Right.
They
Right.
shoot 100 rounds, you can still hear. I went to the shooting range the other way and then put my hearing protection in the right way, and I couldn't hear for a week.
Like, bro, you know what I'm hearing right now in my ears?
You
Right
feel me?
now.
Even
Right now.
now, hey, and get a check for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And that's a good point, man. And you know what? Thanks for saying that, bro, because the real deal is this. PTSD is real. And that's what we're talking about. It's post-traumatic stress, whether you're on a battlefield, serving your country, or you on the streets dealing with what you're dealing with. And that's something we should be talking about, mental health, as opposed to the smoke and mirrors on this gender thing or what's going on. We had this person who was unstable walk into an elementary school and kill babies. You know what I mean? Like, why aren't we talking about the instability there? I don't care that person was trans or whatever. You know what I mean? And the people are like, well, let's take the guns away. I don't care how many laws you make. You're not going to get rid of all the guns of America. Let's talk about why this person couldn't get help to get their head right. That's what we should be talking about. But no one wants, like you said, no one wants to talk about that stuff. Just like the rappers. Rappers, oh, here's a rapper talking about PTSD and how to deal with it. Now we don't want to hear that song. We want to hear about what caused your PTSD. Like let's rap about that. Let's glorify that. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But brother, I'm so glad you popped up, man. I appreciate it, man. So where everybody find you, man? What's up? I know you was thinking about starting up your stuff again.
Yeah, to be honest with you, bro, I just pop up on panels now. I'm kind of focused on some other stuff in the real world, and the way that these dudes is moving so goofy out here. I don't even know if I even want to be associated with a lot of these dudes right about now, bro. It's getting real goofy out here, and part of what we was just talking about, I'm not built for this type of stuff, bro. Like the if I get into it, I'll be doing too much. You took it too far, type shit. And I'm built a certain way. I don't take certain types of. Anyway, I don't even want to get into it, but yeah. So I just, you catch me on the panel. Yo channel, Black Men Unfiltered every once in a while, Sir Hell maybe every once in a while. I just pop around, but one of these days I might fire up the channel and get to chopping it up. But I'm just I'll be taking my breaks from this stuff, man. It's too much sometimes.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you, bro. And when you decide to fire it up, man, please let me know, man. I'll definitely come over there and support. So, everybody, man, just, let's give it up to the OG, man. Tommy B in the building, man. Thank you so much, bro, for coming through. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, bro. Absolutely appreciate you, man. So we're going to continue moving forward. Man, look, y'all. This, like I said, man, we need to think about this, y'all. We need to put it through the old think tank, y'all. Let's I think Budweiser made a bet, and it didn't really necessarily pan out for them in the way that they had hoped for. We'll see how deep this boycott goes. It is what it is. They're gonna have to hold it. If it's an L, they're gonna have to hold it. If it's a W, they're gonna have to hold it. But right now, it looks to be shaping up as an L. And it looks like they're going to continue to do what they're doing, not just Budweiser, but all the other big corporations like Nike and Adidas and whoever else. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Wanted to read this real quick. Kaiser Jones, Tommy, I'm running into the same problems. My best employees are over 40 years old, happy to work, and very opinionated, LOL. My anxiety gets pumping every time they start talking politics, right, bro? I feel you on that. And Kaiser Jones also good talk, Tommy. Yeah, that was real good talk, brother Tommy. I'm glad you came through, brother Tommy B, up in the piece. I'm resetting my board, y'all. I'll be trying to figure out how to do my soundboard. Brother Doug, Budweiser should have learned from Gillette. They should have, but they didn't. And Gillette, I think Gillette's going to go back to that too at some point. The big corporations are looking for money, bro. That's what it boils down to. I ain't mad at them. Let them make their money. They're looking for money. That's a big market. That $1 trillion price point that they had out there. That's a big market that they're trying to grab, and it's a global marketplace. So I ain't mad at them for doing it. But hopefully, if it doesn't work, they don't sit around and point the finger and try to blame others when they are responsible for their own actions as a corporation. That's just how that works out. But there's a lot to be said about people who identify with this community. I don't know if it's these people, these numbers, it's always been 7 point whatever percent, or is it that people just like the attention and they are like Brother Tommy was saying, now they're free of shame and free of scorn, so they can come out and actually tell the truth. Maybe that number's always been that way, but the number of U.S. adults who identify as LGBTQ has skyrocketed to a record 7.1%. And young people are against steering and increases. So 7.1%. It's the poll number was 4.5% in 2017 and is up to 7.1% in 2022. That is crazy. That is crazy. So again, I don't know why they're doing it. Maybe that's the real number and people have just kind of been in the closet. We know what that's like. Maybe people are free to come out and tell the truth now, or maybe maybe they're doing it because it gives them some sort of clout or it gives them some attention. Who knows? But that's where we are. Those are big numbers, y'all. Those are some big numbers. But like I told my daughter, I don't care who she loves. I don't care who she brings home. I said, if you fall in love with a girl, you want to bring that girl home and marry her, I'm going to love her because she loves you. But if that girl tries to hurt you, she's going to end up in a swamp, just like those boys who might try to hurt you will end up in a swamp. You better make sure your people understand that. My little girl just started laughing, and she said, I'm crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't care. Do what you're gonna do, but let's understand this, y'all. The facts are the facts. If you're born a boy, you're a boy. If you're born a girl, you're a girl. That's just the way it is. I don't think technology has gotten to the point where they can actually absolutely go back and change your DNA and make all those things go away and other things appear. At least not yet. But that's all I got to say about all that, y'all. I'm glad you guys kind of rocked out with me on the Sundays. I don't, I don't normally do Sunday shows. So we're gonna be doing them now moving forward. Again, we're gonna be on every single day live, Monday through Fridays, 6 p.m., Saturday and Sundays, 2 p.m. And we're gonna be doing this, man. We're gonna be having some fun. This was a more serious topic, but we're gonna be talking about everything. We try to have some fun. I'm gonna be doing some comedy. Right now, I am working on getting my routine set, and I will be performing around the country, guys. So whenever I perform, I will announce it here first. I promise you, y'all will be the first to know wherever it is I'm going to be performing. So this summer I'm gonna go pretty hard. I'm just waiting for my daughter to get out of school. We're working on setting up some dates right now, and it's gonna be fun, y'all. I'm gonna have so many great stories for y'all. So many great stories. So we'll see. You guys get to get on this comedian train with me again, and it's gonna be fun, y'all. You're gonna get to see what it's really like being out here in the entertainment world, trying to make people laugh all over the country, bro. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. And Brother Doug is saying that number will increase. Brother Doug, you and Suzette was MIA all week. Yeah, Suzette was supposed to go on yesterday and she didn't make it. I'm gonna reach out to her tomorrow and find out what's going on. So we'll make sure she's okay. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she is. She's just really, really busy. So that's it. That's all we got for this show, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 6 p.m. We're gonna be talking about women, voting, and the draft. We're gonna be talking about that. There's a lot of talk out there in the manosphere about women being able to vote or whatever. And I think we're gonna make that one. That might be a downright. You know what? We're gonna make that. I really want to know, because that's gonna kind of go into the whole manosphere and what they're saying about, women and gender and all that kind of stuff, right? So we're gonna do that. So expect that tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Tuesday, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but definitely tomorrow we're going to be talking about women and voting and the draft. Scam likely, Brother Dusto, let me know when you are performing in Tampa or Orlando. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. That's coming up pretty soon, as a matter of fact. I'll keep you posted. Because I have to go out and I got to build this routine, which means I got to go out and find some smaller stages so I can get my routine set. You know what I mean? Get my set going, and then I can go out on the road and do it. So it's a process behind it, y'all. I might even film what it's like. I'm not going to film the content because I got to build the material so it's fresh when people come see it. So I can't show you guys online because they'll just be online. Maybe I'll start a Patreon and I could do it on Patreon. I'll be able to premiere all my new material on Patreon. Yeah, I might do that. Stand by. I might do that, y'all. And Brother Doug busy. That's what y'all call it. LOL. Yeah. We got to be busy, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie to you. The reason I was offline is I was dealing with the family court system, bro. Like I said, I fought the law and the law won. I'm here to tell you, that's what I was doing. That had me. That was tough. I'd rather get into a shooting fight than deal with that stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd rather go back. I'd rather jump into a combat situation than deal with that nonsense, man. That's something I'm gonna be talking about as well. Our broken family court system. But that's it. That's all I got to say, y'all. We're gonna leave it there. Like I said, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 6 p.m. right here. Be looking for the shorts. I got some DL shorts that are coming out, man. I'm talking about what's going on in the commercial real estate sector. So be looking for that. Thank y'all so much for y'all support. I really appreciate it. Brother Ian, again, thank you for the $20 super chat, man. That really means a lot to me, man. It really helps us out. So that's it. I'm about to go. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. I'm gonna leave with that last super chat from the last chat from Brother Doug. I don't know if y'all if you will get, hold on. I don't know if you get what alluding to, but I said you both were missing LOA. No, I got it. I got it. You know what I mean? She's in the bottom, man. She's in Southern Florida. I'm in Central Florida. And again, Suzette and I have never met in real life. We're only like in the YouTube trenches, and we talk. We're associates in this YouTube gang. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got it, Brother Doug. Everybody got it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell her what you said. She gonna get mad at you, bro. I'm telling on you. So, hey, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow, man. I'm DL saying this is the Downrange Podcast, bro. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.